We would like to acknowledge that this podcast was recorded on Gundungurra country. We pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I'm good.
What can you see from our window?
It is true Blue Mountains ambience out there. We have got we're in the clouds, we're in the mist, we're in the clouds. So there's bush all around us and the trees are kind of slightly grey, because they're being shrouded by clouds.
Yeah, it is true. I've not, in the 5 years that I have been coming to Ultra Trail Australia, I have not seen it like this. And it is just wonderful. Or maybe I have seen it like this, but it was at night and I was on the start line.
Oh, yeah.
So it hasn't been like this. But we're in one of the houses at the Katoomba Christian Convention and right on site with the other commentators. And what a great place to be, I must admit. It's just...
in the heart of it all.
Yeah, in the heart of it all. I mean, you do have to... curtains exist for a reason. Sort of open up the curtains in the morning and there's like streams of people because it's right there. There's streams of people wandering past.
Have anyone got a photo of Matt?
No.
Morning glory, just tag it. No, Ditch Radio.
There's no glory. But yeah, what a wonderful, wonderful couple of days it's been. And we haven't done our traditional catch up with day 1, day 2, day 3 sort of styles, but it's Friday morning.
Yeah.
And you'll hear in the preceding chats, we had a little bit of challenge yesterday, didn't we, with our UTA miler and 22 chat? What happened?
We did. It just started turfing it down on us, to be honest, and everyone left.
Yeah, it was really sad. We had quite a great audience. Steph Austin was chatting up a storm and it was amazing, and then sort of what appeared to be a literal storm turned up and there was only poor Ben Duffus and his parents sitting at a picnic table.
Bless them.
Watching us, and we pulled the pin, which is unfortunate, but it's, Sailor Blue Mountains.
Maybe it was actually Ben's good luck charm not talking to us because he ended up winning today.
Absolutely he did. He absolutely ended up winning, and what a time too. You can't call it a course record because it was a different course, but he went under he's the person who set the fastest time at the UTA 22. And he went under that today. So amazing stuff and very, very well deserved. How's your week been?
So good. Got here on Tuesday. The weather was quite misty rain the past few days, to be honest, but that's beautiful. When you're here in the rain and the mist, it's got a different appeal, the scenery comes and goes and you feel really excited when you get that glimpse of Mount Solitary or whatever it is that you're looking at. And also the waterfalls are just pumping when it's like that. So we had an awesome run on Wednesday. I just lose track of days when we're here.
Yeah, no, I got in on Wednesday and pretty much as soon as we got in, I got in, talking about myself in the third person plural, that's not very cool. As soon as I got in,
Matt
headed up as soon as Matt got into his accommodation, I headed up to meet up with you, and we went for an epic run it was cloudy and rainy and wet and cold. And where did we end up going? We went down
Giant, so past the Three Sisters, which are just that, that iconic view. And then down Giant Staircase, which I always say is aptly named. There's, I don't even know, probably 1,000 stairs down.
Yes.
To
some of them are ladders, essentially.
Yeah, they are, yeah. And then up further stairs.
Yeah, which was, I can say, because we came for the Fires Climb, I've been up and down those stairs a number of times, and it never ceases to sort of amaze me how, whilst there are other climbs in the Blue Mountains that are harder than the further stairs, I'd say coming up Giant would be harder, and I'd say coming up Golden's harder as well.
Yeah.
And Fernbow.
And Nellies. And yeah.
There's something really iconic about Furba. And then woke up yesterday morning and bluebird skies.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Not a drop of rain. And I decided to push my boundaries a little bit and head up to Ruined Castle, which I've always wanted to go to, and sort of being here and very much being sort of fly in, fly out for the event. I've always wanted to go to Mount Solitary. I've always wanted to go to Ruined Castle. I've always wanted to kind of push out a little bit, and had a bunch of time before our live show. So headed up to Glen Raphael, that was closed. So went up on the narrow neck and down past the lookout, down the stairs, and down Golden, and then along to Ruined Castle. And it was just one of the best things I think I've ever done in my life. It was incredible. It smelt amazing after the rain. The eucalyptus smell was really, really strong. I saw a bunch of lyrebirds, which I've always really, I've seen them in the like flitting through the bush, but came around a corner and there's one just on the track and didn't appear to be bothered by my presence at all. Then, got up to Ruined Castle and just, amazing. You get up there and it's like he's got the first rock and then the second rock and you're like, oh, is this it? This is pretty cool. And, and then you just keep pushing up and then it's like, oh my goodness me. And I always have that thing where you can really put your life into perspective in terms of, and I've said this before, like this place was here millions of years before us and it'll be there millions of years after us. And being up at Ruined Castle, I was the only person in the world at that point in time and space who was in that place where so many others had been.
Yeah.
And so many others will be. It's just a really special, it puts your life into perspective and it puts any stress that you've been experiencing into perspective and it puts, what you're capable of in perspective and where you are and whether you're literally a figurative journey in perspective. And so I was feeling, pretty full coming back down the stairs and then again came around a corner and there's lyrebirds and then there's, are they called whipbirds?
I think they're called whipbirds.
Whipbirds.
We should put that sound in if we can.
Absolutely, I'm sure.
Because the sounds of the Australian bush are just,
incredible. And then I was coming around a corner and I was like, is that Venga Boys? Is that... It was something like that. And I was like, oh, no. And then,
but kind of yes.
And then came around a corner and there's this big party of people with huge packs on that had gone out and spent the night out there, but they had one of those big, like, JBL speakers who were carrying up just playing techno and, but, each their own. I don't want to be all sort of sanctimonious about it, but it was interesting that, they were also on country enjoying themselves and really awed. And it was amazing. Going back up Golden wasn't pretty. And then coming back down the hill, I bumped into bloody Adrian MacDonald, who you'll be hearing from very shortly in our 100K chat. But he was, he's such a lovely, lovely human being. And then he was like, I'm only going another 800 meters and I'm turning around. And for some reason, I just had this mortal fear of him catching me, even though he's a professional runner. He's a professional athlete, And I don't know, maybe he got bitten by a snake or something, but I just pinned my ears back and took off and he didn't get me, which, it's not much of a victory, but I'll take it. What a day. What an absolute ripper of a day, and here we are. Where I went out this morning again onto, just basically straight out onto Prince Henry.
Yep.
And along for an arbitrary distance, out 3K, back 3K.
Nice.
Legs feeling a bit leaden, lungs feeling a bit heavy because live at sea level, but really just very, very happy to be moving about in the Blue Mountains. It's always so special.
Yeah. And some other people that were finding it special was the 100 milers that I saw off this morning. So it was pretty epic. There was 450 of them. Saw some of our Kiwi legends like Emma Timmis and Katie Wright there. Scotty Hawker. Who else did I see? Joe Walker. There was quite a few actually, so that was cool. Really good vibes, and they'll be out there enjoying themselves now. And then saw the 22K runners off and that's quite the start line. Like we start at 6:40 a.m. and go through till basically 10 o'clock. So
we did it
yeah.
together last
Yeah,
year.
we did.
So
Yeah.
it was you and Bero this year, the legend
Yeah.
mayor of the Blue Mountains, Ben Berryman.
Yeah. Unofficial.
Unofficial, yeah.
But official by our
The
standards.
people's mayor.
Yeah. The people's mayor.
Yeah, it's a long time.
It's a long time to try and bring the energy. There was I said to them near the end, I was like, it's like when mum and dad get given a microphone at the end of the night and then the kids are starting to cringe.
Yeah.
Come the end of it. Like, get off, mum and dad.
Were people receptive? Because there can be different vibes on different starts.
Yes.
And I've noticed that generally the shorter the distance, the more serious.
Yeah, there was a real mixed bag, to be honest, but we had some really fun times. So, like, there was some start line aerobics, which was very entertaining. We did a selfie.
Was that facilitated by you and Bero, or was that facilitated by aerobics instructors?
Well,
in quotes.
It may have been peer pressure because there was some of the volunteers were dressed up in 80s tracksuits.
Excellent.
And I was like, that man over there is going to lead an aerobic session. And he's like shaking his head like, I'm like, you can't dress like that and not be up for it. Like he's totally up for it. So he's like, okay. So we gave them the moves, but then they led it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. And you had the most sort of 2026, it was like a meta selfie.
Yeah. So Bero said, like, everybody get your phones out and take a selfie. So this is a whole start line. And then we were taking a selfie with them all taking selfies behind us.
So everyone like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
It was quite something. And then what else was there? I got them to do like a strong pose, like a muscle pose.
Right.
So it was quite fun
So there'll be plenty of them.
Yeah,
probably.
On the finish line. Yeah, true. Yeah, it doesn't usually happen on the start line. But no, we kind of tried to come up with lots of different ideas to just keep the novelty there. But I don't think they probably don't realise all the novelty that's happened before that.
Yes. Because each of those start lines, I mean, it's such a big race, isn't it? That people are
huge.
People are like Ben Duffus is
finished.
Got his tracksuit on before people have started.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So it's been a great morning in the mountains. And then I guess we're just gearing up for the next part with our live shows.
Yeah, got our live show that we're going to head up the hill. Not that it's much of a hill. Head up the hill and set up now, and then you're doing the Woman in Trail at 3 o'clock, and I'm going to park up on the finish line and welcome in some 22K athletes from 1 o'clock until end of day. So, yeah, I'm excited. It feels like it's kind of all becoming very real, even though you're here and moving around. And it seems like the growth of the event. I mean, I know that it's a very long running event, and that, this is my 5th year being here. It's your 10th year being here, but it feels like every year there's been growth, and there's been growth in the infrastructure and growth in the way that the event has been presented. I think that this year, again, it feels just that those 1% is there, and it's epic. Yeah, definitely. I noticed the difference at the miler start this morning. It's, really, really cool to see, progress and people that are really invested in it. Nick, come in, mate. Come on. Nick's coming in. Hello. Hi. Mark, absolutely. Mark. Absolutely. Hi. Nick Bunyan, MC extraordinaire. I would actually say yes to a donut. Those are the best donuts in the universe. Oh, they're massive. Okay. For you. Well, this is my first. I'm christening my donut virginity for this year. Donut virginity is a terrible way to end this. But we probably should. It'll be tasty. It strikes me that we're sitting here in the presence of absolute legends. And by that, I mean each and every one of you who's turned up to the 2026 Hoka Ultra Trail Australia. And this is the second of our Dirt Church Radio live shows. Now, we do apologise. Yesterday, it got rained off within 10 minutes. So we're hoping that the Blue Mountains weather comes through. I'm Matt Raymond, and this is my cousin. Hi, I'm Ali Pottinger. So we might as well talk about this now for just, kill some time. People thought we were cousins.
I don't know why.
Probably because we're from New Zealand and the pool is quite shallow, but that's we're not.
No.
But we have a cousin-like relationship, but someone who is not our cousin, but I kind of wish was, is sitting right in the middle.
He's our adopted cousin.
He's our adopted cousin from Fort Collins. He's also two-time Leadville 100-mile champion. He's taken the win at Cozumela and Tarawera. Please give a warm Blue Mountains welcome to Adrian MacDonald. Oh, come on, you can do better than that. Please give a warm Blue Mountains. He's won Leadville twice. Give the man a clap. You love that, right?
Thank you.
Hey, Adrian, welcome.
Hi, thanks. Thanks for having me.
How are you enjoying the Blue Mountains so far?
It's been great. I've been here a little over 10 days. I've seen about half the course for the 100K. Yeah, and I really have been enjoying it. It's like coming from the mountains of Colorado, it's sort of different to be on like an inverted mountain course where every run you finish up a staircase. But yeah, it's really neat.
Is it what you were expecting? Like, what was your kind of thoughts coming into this and now experiencing a lot of it? What's your take?
I was expecting more stairs.
Were you?
Yeah, because that's all I'd heard about. And there's a lot more like fire road than I thought there would be, which I think that's one of my strengths. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, if you see at the Blue Mountains tourist website, if there's a review that said would have appreciated more stairs,
Yeah.
that you're probably the only person that's ever said that.
Yeah.
Hey, what is the best thing you've seen since you've been here?
The best thing, you on my run yesterday.
Yes, we did cross paths on our run, and yeah, that was a thank you for me getting a PR on the way home because I didn't want you to catch me. But apart from me, what's been what's been you like you said? It's such a different Colorado. You have mountains touching the sky, and the Blue Mountains. It's the mountains are on the floor of the forest. What's been the most sort of striking thing that you've seen?
So, like going along with that, like in Colorado, you feel like powerful when you're on top of a mountain, and here I think you sort of feel powerful when you're at the bottom of the canyon. So I went out on 6-foot track, and it was just so cool being down on the floor and looking up at the cliffs all around.
And, there's some racing tomorrow.
Yep.
Have you been looking at who you're running up with or against, or what's your kind of feel about the racing?
Yeah, I've looked a little bit. I heard one of the Chinese runners isn't competing anymore, unfortunately. Obviously, there's like tons of great Australian runners here. So yeah, no matter who shows up, it's going to be a good race. And what I think is going to be interesting about this course is that since there are so many like different aspects, like the stairs and the big long descents and the fire road, like everyone's different strengths and weaknesses are really going to show, and that sort of makes for dynamic racing.
Mm-hmm. Do you have some goals for tomorrow? Is there like a time or a placing or?
Well, I've been like looking back, and it seems like they never actually run the intended course. So it's sort of hard to compare across the years, but it looks like we're going to tomorrow. So yeah, I think somewhere close to 9 hours would be good.
Mm-hmm.
And for you, there's always that question, isn't there? And you don't want to dwell on the future or what's next, but I guess this is a part of your, running is a part of your career. What does the rest of the season look like from here for you?
I'm going to run Leadville again in August. So that's the other big goal for this year. I'm going to go and do the 23K at Broken Arrow next month, which will be, there's like $30,000 for the winner of that. So
wow.
Draw all the top like sub ultra runners in the US and probably from around the world. So it'll be fun to test myself there. and then I'm getting married in September.
Oh,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is absolutely amazing. Well, congratulations on that. It's so great to hear you talk about the fact that one of your, $30,000 is nothing to sneeze at for a 23K sky race, but you've said you run everything from 4x400s to Leadville 100. What's something that there's lots of people out here who are going to either in this crowd or listening that are going to be thinking about their first 100K race, or they're very nervous. What's one piece of sort of wisdom, having had so much experience, that you would give someone who's really, really, really experiencing the nerves tomorrow?
I think the way that it's easier for me to comprehend time than distance. So I like to think, like going into a miler, I think I'm just going to go run all day. I've like driven in a car all day. I've like gone hiking all day. It's much easier to think of that way than 100 miles. So for 100K, and there'll be people, depending on their experience level and skill level. I think no matter what, like I'm going to be running for a half a day or a full day or a day and a half. That's much easier for me to comprehend.
And how does your approach the recovery? Do you find that running, not just doing 100-mile races, or now I guess the next thing, and we've just seen with Cocodona, is, multiple 100-mile races. Do you find that having a mix of distances, speeds, intensities, does that keep you fresh?
I think it's more like mentally fresh. I generally don't do ultras and build ups to ultras. I like to race, so it's fun to do a shorter race. So my tune-up race for this was a 30K race in Oregon.
Was that the Gorge Waterfall?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good. It was similar to here, like waterfalls everywhere. Also similar, just sort of like rolling terrain. And I finished strong. Like I passed 3 runners in the last 5K. So like I got beat by a few people, but it's like gives me confidence that like, yeah, I got stronger towards the end. So that's going to help me in 100K if I'm finishing the 30K strong.
well, we'll look forward to seeing you running strong tomorrow, Adrian.
Yeah.
I'm quite excited to see how this race plays out for you.
Me too.
And thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. It's pretty exciting to catch up here in the beautiful Blue Mountains. And everyone, please put your hands together for Adrian MacDonald.
Thanks for having me again.
All right, Dan, do you want to come up to the stage and we'll start talking about what a stacked panel.
Look at this.
This guy.
All the studs are here.
All the studs are here. There's absolutely... So he runs for 88 Terex, current 4-time champion at Tarawera, 6 times Kepler Challenge champion, 3 times Western States top 10 finisher. My goodness me, he's the defending 50K champion at Ultra Trail Australia. And most importantly, he's Hudson's dad. Please welcome to the stage, Dan Jones. And Michelle's husband.
Yeah, recently married too. Lots to celebrate here.
We promise to everyone we will not be too parochial because we're all Kiwis. Just talk about like New Zealand and how good it is and stuff like that. Yeah. Hard not to. Hey man, look, listening and reading that list of achievements, you're not a one and done kind of guy, are you? I mean, like 6 Keplers, 4 Taraweras, you're going back for a 4th time in the Western States this year. What's brought you back to UTA?
Yeah, I guess I get into the rhythm of racing, and I like to challenge myself on some courses that I've done, some that I haven't, but it's always nice to go back and try and better your performances from previous years. UTA is just a beautiful spot to come back to as well. I mean, that's good enough reason in itself.
What about it being a major? Like, is there a higher level competition that appeals, or?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, been at majors the last couple of years. I think it's certainly drawing in more and more competition each year, and from all over the world. So why wouldn't you want to like race against the best, just to tee off? See where I'm at. Basically, it's been a pretty hefty training block so far, and yeah, if I can survive this race, get on the plane to America day after on Sunday, and then just recover a little bit, and then get into my last block of training for Western States. That'll be good.
That sounds pretty good. And on that note, Dan, I was chatting with a guy recently who was like, "Oh, I really like Dan Jones' workouts," and I was like, "Please don't do exactly what he's doing." What would you say to someone that was like, "I just want to go and do a Dan Jones threshold workout"?
Yeah, to be honest, like you can definitely do the workouts, but maybe maybe not as many, depending on how, what your training history is. But certainly I'm trying some different things this year, and that involves like upping the mileage and doing some double threshold stuff. So actually doing a single threshold would actually be fine for most people, because I'm not like going out there each workout and trying to kill myself. I'm keeping it under control, and then making sure that I recover pretty well so I can get back into the following session and actually feel good, and not being absolutely wasted for the following subsequent days.
I mean, speaking of kind of challenges, it sounds like you've been open about having a bit of a period of challenge post Tarawera. There's been a bit going on for you. How are you feeling now coming into this?
Oh, I'm absolutely had it, to be honest. But that's all part of, building up building up a lot of fatigue, I suppose, with training. And the training has been going very, very well, which I'm very happy about. But then, it's about getting the recovery as well. Sometimes the recovery is not so great when you've got Hudson like screaming and waking up every 90 minutes or so. But I think you've just got to like put things into perspective and get the recovery in when you can get the recovery in, making sure you can, take in the nutrition side of things. That's all controllable. Michelle does a massive amount of the lifting at night, making sure that I can actually get some sleep. She is running on fumes, so if it was me in that same room every single night, then I would be toast. But no, the training's good. The recovery is what it is, and as long as we can, keep putting in the days and making sure you like manage things and, adapting where you can adapt, then I think that's the main thing for me.
German dentists out of 10?
Oh, bloody nice guy. And he was 26 years old, fully qualified, did a great root canal, and I got travel insurance to cover it, luckily, which was super random. I'll tell the story quickly. I didn't think I was going to get travel insurance, but I looked back, and the previous year I had booked an annual comprehensive travel insurance, and it just so happened that the day that I had the root canal was the day that it was running out. It was super lucky. I just went back and checked. I was like, oh, well, I'll give it a try, and they paid out, so good on them.
Wow, that is lucky.
When one door opens, window closes, or what? I don't even know what that saying is. But look, you said this morning, while I was looking at your social media this morning, you said the Blue Mountains continues to surprise and amaze you. What have you appreciated about this place that you didn't pick up on your first time here?
Well, the first time here, we got here on the Wednesday evening, and it was we're in the fog for 2 days, and then race day, you're racing, so you don't properly get to take in all the views, I suppose. You do. You should try and do that, but it is a bit more hard out, and you're not like stopping and taking the odd photo. But yesterday was a beautiful day. We got to see some of the views, and when you hear of Australia, you don't really think about the mountains like this. You think about desert, so it's pretty cool coming over and getting to experience what some of the trails here.
And what are you looking forward to tomorrow?
I'm just looking forward to racing. Like I do enjoy racing, and I know it's going to be a competitive race, so it's more so just going out and seeing how the body reacts to different moves and seeing what kind of paces and efforts everyone's going at, and just kind of enjoying it, trying to remember my experiences from last year. And as I said, if I can build on them and making sure that I can move strong where I want to move strong, then I think that's the main thing.
And is it full send, or is it like slowest win time possible, or what's the tactic there?
It would be absolutely crushing if you put like on your Strava stop to take photos and still run the race.
Go on, just take one.
Yeah, that's not going to happen in this race. I know that. Yeah, I'm not going to give away all my like tactics, but it'll likely be just see what the effort is and race. I'm too competitive not to, there's, I think going 100% and like 95%, it can be quite close. You can feel a little bit more in control than going all out. But let's just see what the race brings.
And there's a good question here. So you're back at Western States this year, right? When you saw or heard that Jim Walmsley was in it again, were you like, oh dear, or oh yeah? Come on, be honest.
It can be both.
I was just saying, okay. It is what it is, and it doesn't really, it makes difference maybe in the final results, and who knows what those results will be. But to me, it's like you look at that start list 10 weeks out, and you think, yep, what everyone's been saying, stack field, yep, good on it. But you look at what it is on race day, and who knows who shows up, who has gotten through their training blocks in good health and ready to roll on race day. And in the end, it doesn't matter what they're doing anyway. It matters how I get to race day and performing and executing that race, which is the difficult thing to do.
And I guess that's the thing, isn't it? We get sucked into, especially the the 99% of people who are citizen athletes who do this as enthusiastic amateurs. We get sucked into that notion that because we see you guys, your pit stops now at your aid stations, and it's like an F1 pit crew, and everything feels so dialed in. We kind of get sucked into this notion that just because someone's there, they're going to win. And it's great to hear you highlight that's that the person who shows up on the day, that doesn't necessarily mean with all the best preparation in the world that you're going to pull through and get the W.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, Jim is pretty well qualified at getting that W, but as you say, a 50K is a bit different. 100K is a bit different even still, and 100 miles in 45-degree heat with a big net downhill course, anything can happen, so you just got to put yourself in the mix.
What is it you like about Western States? I mean, apart from the fact that it's seen as that sort of pinnacle, what is it that attracts you to that course?
Yeah, honestly, it is because it is that pinnacle event, and if I want to put myself, in the mix and against the best in the world, and for me, that's an event that suits me better than say a real mountainous, crazy race like UTMB or CCC at this stage in my running career. I still think I've got a little bit of speed in the leg sometimes when I'm, and good
That
health.
is
and
the
fit.
dictionary definition of sandbagging right there.
Well, I'm not going to compare myself to a 2-hour marathoner, teammate, by the way, or sub 2 hours, I should say.
Yeah.
But it is a race that I think can suit me if I have my day. So that's why I want to put myself against the best at that race.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, look, Dan, we wish you the best for tomorrow. Have a blast out there, and then for your travel and for Western States. Thank you so much for your time. It's always so good to see you. And please, everyone, put your hands together for Mr. Dan Jones.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Now, we'd like to welcome to the stage someone with a string of incredible results across her career. She took second at last year's UTA 100 and is towing the line in the 100 tomorrow. Please put your hands together for the amazing Beth McKenzie.
Okay, so that's Trent and Ellie. And Trent and I actually met on the course here in 2024. We ran, I would say, 80 kilometers within 50 to 100 meters of each other. And we've stayed in touch ever since. And it's really special. He's running the 100 again tomorrow. And I think his training has been crazy. So he may be way ahead of me tomorrow, but I'm going to try to keep those weird, colorful shorts in my view for as long as I can. Anyway.
Well, fantastic. And that's the thing, isn't it? Trails equals friends, and friends, best friends that you never met. But last time that we spoke, it was also kind of cloudy and rainy. It was just before Tarawera, and you were lining up, and it didn't go your way. But I wanted to know, how's your recovery been and your build for UTA been?
Things have been on the up since Tarawera, which is great. I just had a bad day, and actually, Ruth here, she wrote to me and she said, you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. Everybody can have a bad day. And I think that's important to just it just wasn't my day. There were excuses. There were all kinds of things. I ended up having really low iron, like all kinds of things, but I just moved on from there. I'm feeling great. Had a really good training block with all my friends. I'm so happy to be back here in the Blue Mountains. I'm really excited, and I know tomorrow I'll wake up really nervous, but today I just can't wait to go.
On that, how do you manage nerves?
I actually get questions, a lot of people asking me how I manage nerves, and I'm not very good at it, to be honest, because I think that they're not there until like the moment comes of the morning, and I'm like, 3 a.m., why am I doing this to myself? But I'm pretty good once the gun goes off of just starting to have a good time, and then you sort of forget about it. So I just keep reminding myself to just get to the start line and go, and then it'll be okay.
That's actually really good advice.
Thanks.
It's just another run,
Just
isn't it?
get to the start line. And at the end of the day, it's just running.
Yeah. You're very open with your approach to training and racing on social media. Coming from a professional background, so before you were an Ironman athlete, how does it feel to be at this point in your endurance career? It's kind of like you're living 2 lifetimes in one.
I know. I think I've gotten very lucky in being able to transfer over into at the elite level of a second sport. And for me, yeah, I'm 46. Like, I have no secrets. I'm fine with putting everything out there on social media because, like, you can copy me if you want, but I'm probably running less mileage than other people. I upload everything to Strava, from a hike to this to that. And I think it's important for people to see too, like, I'm not running 4-minute kilometers all day long. My average pace on lots of runs is 5:30 to 6-minute kilometers or whatever it is. And I think it's important to show the good and the bad. And I know a lot of my training bubble up in Noosa on the Sunshine Coast looks pretty idyllic, but at the same time, when you're training for mountain running and things like that, it's actually not ideal. And I think, and as fun and beautiful as it is probably not the best prep, but you do what you can with what you got.
Yeah. I mean, my take on it is it looks like you're having a bit more fun with things. Is there a perspective change that comes with experience and maturity?
Yeah, I think for me, because I'm racing as this is my hobby. It is a hobby for me. I have a full life with work and family and everything. And if I'm not enjoying it, I shouldn't be doing it, because I'm not doing it for money or sponsor. I mean, I sponsor myself, which is great, and it's really good marketing. Thanks everybody who wears Win Republic. But I really am just doing it for myself, and I think that brings me a lot of enjoyment. But also, I've connected, especially through this particular race, with so many athletes, particularly women, particularly mothers around the world, who come up to me and they're saying, because you're doing it, I thought maybe I should give it a try. And that's been really, really special to me. I mean, I didn't run my first 100 kilometers until I was 44 years old, and it's never too late to start. And I love sharing that.
With that perspective, and you talked about the 2 lives and having those 2 endurance careers, what have you noticed about the cultural side of trail running compared to where you came from? And on that, in the last 5 years, it seems like there's been such a seismic shift in trends and approaches. What do you notice from someone who's sort of relatively and quote unquote new to the sport?
Yeah, it is funny seeing that, and then seeing things that are like talked about as new in trail running, like the high carb approach and like 120 grams per hour of carbs. And then I like look back at some of the things I was doing in triathlon, and we called them calories back then, but I was doing 400 to 500 calories an hour, which is 100 to 125 grams of carbs per hour. So I think there are some things that maybe people just they're more public now, but or maybe it's a shift in running versus other endurance sports. But yeah, sorry, I'm not really answering the question.
No, you absolutely are.
But yeah, so I think there are things that have shifted. I think with the with social media, obviously, you can see a lot more of what people are doing and see places that you want to go. That's actually how I got into trail running, because I had a friend, Anna McKenna, who was running Tarawera in 2023. And so I decided to follow her, and I was like, this place looks really amazing. I want to do that. So I love being able to look somewhere now and saying, hey, I want to try that, and then actually getting to do it.
I'm curious. you're talking about now that you're not a recreational athlete, but you're coming at it from having that full life compared to having that pro lens on. What would you like people to know about both? Like, how is it being a pro versus how is it being a recreational-ish athlete?
I think you can still be a recreational athlete, but treat things professionally. And I've come to accept that about myself. I can't just I've tried to participate before and that doesn't work for me. I'm sure the first time I lined up for 100K, I said I was just going to participate. And then I ran the first 5 kilometers with Ruth Croft before she left me in the dust, of course. But like, I don't have that ability to just not go hard, but I also treat it professionally in my life too. So I schedule in my running. I'm getting up at 4 a.m. I'm getting everything in because I want to know that I've put in everything I can. Yeah. It may not be as much as someone else can put in, but for my reality, I put in everything I have available, and that's all I can do for the start line.
And that's actually probably really great advice to everybody in this space. Like, are you doing what you can do and sitting with that going to the start line of a race?
Right. Yeah. Like, I've never ever run a 200-kilometer week. I would love to, but I don't. It's not in my my destiny, I guess.
Speaking of taking a professional approach to things and aid stations and crewing, are we going to see the fishing vest back this year?
I'm hoping so the fishing vest, which resides on my husband, is currently back at the hotel because the kids are insisting on going ice skating because it's all about them, of course. It's not about me. So, but hopefully tomorrow they'll show up with the fishing vest. He does need to label those pockets because I'm like, it doesn't work unless you know what's in the pockets of your fishing vest. But the kids are really good at keeping Luke in check and telling him what's up.
Maybe there's a method to the madness. Maybe just like you rummaging around in there.
He just likes the look of it. I think we need to sell them.
It does look pretty cool.
There will be a company out there who's going to put like some dorky ultramarathon-y thing on there and be like tactical crew vest and fishing vest.
No, we will do it at Wind Republic.
Absolutely.
And we'll make it cool. It won't be a daggy, whatever.
Please do.
Well, look, Beth, thank you so much. We'll let you go off. And you're not going to go ice skating, are you?
I'm not going ice skating. I actually just went up onto Narrow Neck to cheer on some of my really good friends in the miler. Steph Austin is doing amazing. And then my friend Zoe Manning is close behind her. And then we went and found Emily Brunt. And they're all smiling. They're all having a great time. It was really special. It gave me a lot of motivation for tomorrow. And yeah, I'm excited.
Fantastic. Well, look, everyone, please put your hands together for the mighty Beth McKenzie.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it so much. Okay, well, look, we've got one more person to talk to, and she's right over there. West Coast's finest, has won some races in her time. Do you want me to talk about it? I have to. I kind of have to. We kind of have to. A little race you might have heard of at Western States. Little race you might have heard of at UTMB. Yeah, you won that too. Transvolcania, you did that too. Are you the current, is it 4 or 3 Tarawettas?
4, I think. Her and Dan both have the 4-peat.
Yeah. 4-peat Tarawetta champion. Please welcome to the stage with your raucous applause, Ruth Croft.
I feel like when they win 4 years in a row, they should become doctors or something like
an honorary doctorate.
Yeah.
Waiaraki Polytechnic.
It's not in a row though. Only Dan's in a row.
Doesn't matter if it's in a row. It's still 4 times.
How are you, Ruth? How's it being back here in the Blue Mountains?
Yeah, it's good. I got here on Wednesday night, and yeah, it's nice to be back.
So, I think I saw an Instagram post. You split your time between New Zealand, Lake Hawea, and the Northern Hemisphere. Are you off to France after this? Is that right?
Yeah, so head over to Europe on Tuesday morning. Yeah.
Do you get used to that, or is it always a bit of a head shift, splitting your time between hemispheres?
You kind of get used to it. I think we just get a bit sick of like packing up our life. Like we pack up Lake Hawea and then head over to Europe and then kind of have to do the same later in the year. So I think we do get a bit sick of just moving stuff and sorting out suitcases and that. But overall, it's the way we make it work.
There's one thing that you don't have to get sick of, and that's winter.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that.
I give the possums of Lake Hawea a rest too, eh?
Well, Martin's actually going to be hanging out with Ryan Carr for a month, and so the possums are going to get a hounding.
Oh, goodness.
You talked about you not in the past, you used Tarawera as like an early race. It's not to bang the rust off at all, but it's an early season race, and you've said that you'll judge not the rest of your season, but how things are tracking. How did you feel after your win, and what are you looking at this season?
Yeah, I felt good after Tarawera. I felt pretty worked, to be honest, just because of the weather and the mud and that. But yeah, it's kind of Tarawera just fits in the seasons because it's minimal travel and it's just easy. And then, yeah, we'll just build from there pretty much.
And it's awesome, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty fun too.
Hey, tomorrow there's a really incredible lineup, a pretty fiery competition. What are you looking forward to about it?
I think it's pretty awesome that down in the Southern Hemisphere we can get such a strong women's field, and I'm actually quite excited to just see how I can go in a 50K, because for me it's actually quite short and the focus still has been so far on UTMB. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the competition mainly.
And what would a win on this country mean?
Oh, it's going to be a tough day, I think, to be honest.
Do you? I'm curious to see, because I know I was talking with Martin and he was saying, like you've got, oh golly, is it Meow Yao? Is that how I say it? Yeah. And so she's going to be right up there with you, I imagine. But there's also a solid caliber of ladies that'll be wanting a bit of Ruth Croft scalp. How does it feel having that kind of depth of the field there, but also with somebody that's going to be really competitive?
I think it's just like any race. You just got to do your own thing and not get caught into what everyone else is doing. And that's pretty much how I'll be approaching it tomorrow. Just making sure I don't do anything stupid or don't go out too hard, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Which is probably good advice to everybody, to be honest.
Don't be stupid. Don't go out too hard. What's your advice? Not advice. Advice is easy to give and hard and easy to ignore. But wisdom, there must have been times you've gone out too hard. How do you moderate that, and how do you know when when's the point to kind of stop doing that, or get to that point where you're like, how do you pull that back before the end will come violently?
I think I've just been running for so many years. Like I have this internal knowing, if I've gone out too hard. So I don't feel, I know if I'm pushing harder than I need to. But I think if you're new to ultra running, sometimes that's where heart rate can come in, which can give you a good gauge if you're pushing too hard. But I think at the end of the day, I just know.
Is there something that, you love about running here? What is it that appeals about coming to run in the Blue Mountains?
Well, this is the only race I've ever done in Australia. Yeah. And so I came here for the first time in 2021 and I really enjoyed it. To be honest, I was pretty blown away by the scenery of the Blue Mountains. I just wasn't expecting that. And I think for me, it works in well with the season. Just that it's a short flight over here. And that it's a major as well. I know I really like the Ironman Oceania crew, and they put on a good event. And so, it made sense that I wanted to come back here.
Well, Ruth, it's always a pleasure catching up. And thank you so much for sharing your time with us. We wish you the absolute best for tomorrow. Go well, give it hell. And I'd love everyone to put their hands together for the incredible Ruth Croft.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. It's good to see you. And look, so please put your hands together for Adrian MacDonald, Beth McKenzie, Ruth Croft, and Dan Jones. And please, tomorrow, if you are running, look after yourself, have the best time. Be cool to the volunteers. Thank your crew. They have the hardest job. And we will look forward to seeing you back here at Ultra Trail Australia in 2027. What have we been up to, Ali? How was the Women in Trail?
Oh, Women in Trail was great. Yeah, really, really good chats. Big crowd, which was pretty nice to see. And then asleep. Asleep was good. Woke up again 3:20 a.m. for to get here for 4 a.m. for race starts. So we started off the 50 and the 100K this morning. which actually, again, goes on for quite a long time, like
Hours and hours.
yeah, hours and hours of race starts, which was fun, you know, like you kind of recognise what people have put in to get there and what it means to toe the start line of a 50K or 100K race through the Blue Mountains, which is not easy terrain by any means. And just thinking how epic to see all these strong, fit humans pushing boundaries.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was race starts. And then I went back to my accommodation to try and have a nap. But I have a 3.5-year-old. And so naps are dead to me now. So I just got wrestled instead. And then gave up on that. Caught up with my good mate Rog. Went to the Mount to Coast, did a little wear test, which Matt can explain his feelings when he put that shoe on. And we just had a lovely lunch.
Yeah, just fantastic. And it's been odd for me because this has been the first time in 5 years that I've not been involved with any race starts.
Okay, yeah.
So it's been purely on the mic. And it's been nice actually to like this morning. So after our live show yesterday, ripped down the hill and joined Kerry, then Barrow on the mic. So did 4 hours on the mic mid and closed out the 22, which is awesome. I love that stuff. Seeing the bulk of the mid pack and then the tail of the comet come through, just absolutely astounding. Getting the sweeps through and what people go through on that very, very challenging course. And then so this morning again felt like I got to have my cake and eat it too, so got down for 8 o'clock onto the mic, saw you and Martin, got to welcome in some 100k people, 100 mile people. 100k people are just pointy into coming through just now, and got to see the sharp end of the 50k and see Dan Jones take it out and Yao Meow stave off the mighty Ruth Croft by a matter of, I think it was 90 seconds.
Yeah. That's such close racing.
And they were going, like, Ruth and Yao were going hell for leather. And I understand from a very good source, rhymes with Smartin, that, Blaufari, that just before the stairs, and Ruth had made up like 2 minutes 40, and she dropped her flask, pivoted to pick it up, cramped, dunzo. Well, not dunzo, but like 90 seconds, and super happy with, I heard people saying, oh, she's a long distance specialist. It's like, mate, what's her background is, collegiate middle distance running. She's got wheels.
She has wheels,
Yeah. So that was super cool. And now, hung out with you, went down to the Mount Coast.
Yeah. Tried on some shoes, and I watched Matt's face because I had tried some on, and I was like, oh. And then I thought, I'm going to watch Matt's face when he tries them on. And I had
a little moment. And this isn't a party political broadcast of any note, but like nice feeling comfy shoes and nice feeling comfy shoes.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see. Part of the cool thing about being here too, and I know, UTMB is the naming sponsors Hoka, and that's cool. And I got to rip around in the Speed Goat 7s yesterday, and that's one of the perks of this job is we get to try cool stuff. It's fun to see so many different brands being out there, like when we first started here, I was like, God, everyone's in a Solomon pack. Now there's such different,
Yes, there's a real range of brands.
Of brands.
Think, like here we're seeing more of that guerrilla marketing happening. So I feel embarrassed to say this, but ACG had an event on Thursday night, which was called...
Don't say the name.
I have to say it.
You don't have to say it.
I have to. Thrash the Barrel.
Gosh.
They called it Thrash the Barrel, and it was like a human, even this sounds bad, a human take on barrel racing. But, like they did it. They thrashed the barrel. And so that was that. And then Mountain Coast have got a wear test kind of stand here. Have we seen any others around that have done?
You got the Fly Lab by Hoka, but I just want to kind of circle back to Thrash the Barrel because.
Okay, let's circle back to Thrash the Barrel.
Pick that up, and it is a disruptive strategy. You're right, but Well, see, where I go is draft horse racing, where they'd actually pull carts with barrels on them. So that's where I went initially. I thought I'd be pretty good at that because I'm built like a draft horse.
Okay.
And, quite a low centre of gravity and a pulling capacity. Built for running into people, not running away. But no, it's just running around barrels and just with the most, thrash the barrel. It's just no good. It's up there with what we do. It's like Voldemort, really. I'm never mentioning what you mentioned. I just will not speak of it. But yeah, come on, in your mark, they say there's no bad ideas in a brainstorm. Rethink that.
Well, we're talking about it.
Yeah, we're talking about it. Yeah. But thrash the barrel. It's good that people are doing things, and it's nice that actually companies are actually engaging with people. That's awesome. You are going to be shortly on the finish line, welcoming in the
first female 100K finisher.
And then I'm going to saunter down about 7 o'clock with Bero and doing a little couple of hours, and then tomorrow morning is what I'm really looking forward to.
Oh, it's going to be fun. The kids race. The kids race is the highlight. I absolutely love the kids race. Every race needs a kids race.
So if you want to picture what the Ultra Trail Australia kids race is, so if you hold, because we can do this, there is the dialectic, right? You can hold more than one thing in your head at the same time. Okay, picture salmon swimming upstream and the orcs running out of Mordor in Lord of the Rings and the Wiggles. And that's kind of what the kids race is like.
Yeah.
Just
very,
if they had ill intent, they'd just swarm all over us and we'd all be dead. But it's amazing it's amazing, and I can't wait for the golden hour. I can't wait to call the last people over.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait for presentations. And it seems like the Blue Mountains have really turned it on today weather-wise.
Oh, again.
I was worried.
I
was worried. I was really worried that first day. I was like, this is going to be terrible.
But it's not. Live
Tarawera all over again.
Everyone watching will be like, wow, those Blue Mountains, glorious.
Yeah, they are glorious. Right, well, buddy, you better get down the hill.
Thanks,
And we'll pick this up, hopefully with some other commentators a bit later.
Good Kids Radio.
Well, I am... No, 3 fridge magnets and a sticker I bought since I've been in Katoomba.
They were good. I'm a fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There was also a small matter of trying to wrangle 8,000 runners.
Yeah.
Over 4 days.
Good thing I like people.
Yes.
It's a lot of people.
Ali, why don't you explain where we are?
We're currently just having a little stroll past Echo Point, heading towards, basically the base of the Three Sisters, or the top of the Three Sisters. We've got a glorious view out over the Blue Mountains right now. You can see Mount Solitary, the valley below has got a little blanket of cloud. They're called the Blue Mountains for a reason. There's this just amazing kind of a blue haze to the area. The bushes, it's just another magical day in the Blue Mountains.
It's magical, isn't it? And we've been chained to the mics. What were you doing this morning?
This morning I was cheering in 100K finishes for a while, and then I went and started the kids race, which is always a delight, and came to the finish line to see them. Oh, and
didn't I do well?
Didn't
I do well?
You did do well, and then I was waiting for my child to arrive at the finish line of the 1K for kids race. But apparently he had his first DNF.
Good man.
Here's me, proud, excited mum, phone in hand, ready to capture him, crossing the finish line with his nana. And I'm like, where is he? And then I get a message from mum to say he's pulled out of his 600 metres.
Hey, man after my own heart.
Run. And I was like, he's had a DNF before I have, which I was just in shock. Anyway.
I can't wait to read his race report.
Yeah, he should do a race report. And then after that, prize giving and final finishes. Yeah, so it's felt like about 10 hours and about 4 and a half.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What about you, Matt?
Well, same thing. So on the finish line, so calling in 100k runners, because
Yeah.
I did 8 till close today, and that was
Yeah.
amazing. Seeing people who've been out doing their 100k runs, and they're, we're talking 25,
Yeah,
26, 27
yeah.
hours out on the trails, which is a long time to be on your feet. It's a long time to be doing anything.
To not sleep.
To not sleep, to be moving through
Yeah.
the mountains and, as efficiently as you can, and seeing people achieve that is always my favourite. It's always my favourite. I didn't get to see any of the top 100k finishers coming in, although I do understand that Adrian MacDonald got attacked by a kangaroo. That's why he ended up with 3 stitches in his head.
Actually, what happened?
Well, that's what he keeps saying. He's sticking to his story, and
No.
he's such an honest, wide open human being.
Yeah, he seems truthful.
honest as the day is long.
But seriously, I saw his eye and I thought, what happened to him?
Kangaroo.
He must have run into something.
Kangaroo. Yeah, that's what he's saying.
No.
2 of them. One held his arms, and one
that.
kicked him.
How people are worried about snakes. And then actually,
No, he fell over on a slippery rock, but banged his head pretty bad
Adrian.
and cut his eye. But
which way are we going? Should we go that way or do you want to go down to the Three Sisters?
it's W.
Okay, let's go this way. We'll go.
Because sure enough, we'll get sucked into going down.
Yeah, we'll go down giant staircase again.
And once we're down there,
That's it.
that's it.
We live there now.
Yeah. So, yeah, Adrian MacDonald was 3rd. Michael Dunstan,
Oh, so
Mikey
cool to see him
D.
take the big W.
yeah, DCR alumni. So come and do Church Radio, and then podium
Actually,
at Ultra Australia.
You know what? Maybe that was his good luck charm. Anybody that's like not sure about coming on DCR,
Yeah,
it can lead to winning one of the major races.
yeah, absolutely,
So there you go.
100%.
Heard it here first.
And it's amazing to see, there's heaps of families, and I really love that. So there was heaps of mums and dads. No, not mums and dads. Mums and daughters and sons and fathers
and sons and
running the 100k, which was awesome.
yeah.
And yeah, wrapping up and then helping a little bit of the pack down. Nothing that we didn't have steel cap boots or high vis, so I couldn't get too hard.
True.
But that's really nice too. So yeah,
Just be part of the team because it is a cool team.
yeah, amazing. What was
Yeah.
the best thing you saw all weekend?
I don't know. Are we talking from a social point of view?
Nice.
I mean, the scenery is always like actually the best thing.
Yeah.
But from an event perspective, I don't know. To me, I think seeing people on a start line that are going to go further than they've gone before, and the expressions on their faces, and to me that's just, I just love that bravery, pushing comfort zone, and that, ability to grow and to challenge yourself as a human. So those moments when you go, I know that they're choosing to do something that's going to be really challenging and daunting, but yet there they are, standing with kind of that look on their face and ready to do the thing. And so that's and I got to have that a lot of times. So that's the best thing I saw. What about you?
I think the same thing. It's seeing people finish who've just come up the furthest steps. And that's the thing, and I said it all the time, the finish line at Ultra Trail Australia, to use a term that I used to describe Auckland, is mad nice.
Mad nice.
It's mad nice. It's really good. And they've really worked on it over every time the 5 years I've been back, they've changed something subtly.
Yeah. Always gets an improvement.
And now it had amazing flow.
Yep.
And it was brilliant to see people compose themselves after climbing, that it's savagery really, especially after having, 100k in your legs.
Yeah.
There was a guy I interviewed him at the finish, and he goes, he was appalled. He goes, they said there was only a kilometre to go. I said, well, there was.
Yeah, it is
It is a kilometre.
one of the toughest
Yeah,
games.
they didn't tell you what plane it was on, if it was horizontal or vertical, but there
Yeah.
you go. that was it for me. Seeing people achieve all those wonderful things. I always really enjoy the infrastructure and seeing a little bit how the sausage is made in terms of how events are run, things that they've done to.
Hi.
How are you? Things that they've done to kind of maximise people's experience.
Yeah, I like, now having been involved with the event for such a long time, like to see where it's come from to where it is now. Like, it's always been amazing, but each year things, like you said, get a tweak. They listen, they improve.
Yeah.
And like, they're not the premier trail running event for no reason. Like, it's not about resting on laurels. It's about putting on the best possible event for people. And I feel like this year was just top notch. Like, I didn't even hear one complaint.
No, I didn't.
At all.
I didn't either. And I
Like,
think
yeah.
for me as well, it's that thing of just having people around you who,
Hi.
how are you? Who, New Zealand can get a little bit insular because we're small. So I always really love, it feels like I get a tap opened every time I come over of just meeting incredible people who really inspire me. And in the sense of, wanting to run more good, that inspires me. But also people who inspire me in like their creativity, their business sense, all of that sort of thing. It's really, it's cool. It's like coming to a TED Talk outdoors. And I really like that too. Obviously getting to hang out with Nick, Mark, whānau, yourself, Bero, speaking like an Australian, Bero, David, and commentary team, that was fantastic. And just, it was absolutely amazing. And I just feel so privileged to be here, and it makes me want to do more of it, eh? It really, really does.
Yeah, get into it.
But it makes me want to run more events as well.
Oh, get into it.
Wow. Watch this space. But, okay, there we go. So that's it for us. Donut Church Radio. Donut Church Radio, Ultra Trail Australia. What was the donut body count at the end?
Oh, what did I have? 1, 2, 3. I think I got to 4 for the weekend.
I think I was about 4 for the weekend. No,
You're
you're
good.
all right.
Yeah, no, I think 4. I think I had
You're not annoying.
two before my dinner last night. But oh my God, amazing donuts. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And a lot of laughter created from my accidental donut chat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Well, look, thank you all very much for listening, and thank you again to our people who we had on, Adrian MacDonald, Ruth Croft, Dan Jones, Beth McKenzie, just fantastic. And we will leave it looking out over the most incredible scene that you guys probably will never see, because this is a podcast.